So today we're going to be potting up some blueberries. I have 3 blueberry bushes and we're going to be putting them right here. I have maybe about how many blueberries already? I think I have 4 blueberries already in this vegetable garden over here, and we're going to be adding 3 more. This one right here is the pink icing blueberry, and I got it strictly because of its beautiful foliage. Look at this, and I thought, how beautiful would that be in the landscape? But unfortunately we have tons of deer, and I just didn't want to battle the deer with it, because whenever I plant blueberries in the landscape, they just devour them into bits, and I would have to protect them because, you know, spraying deer repellent on them is not an option because they have blueberries on them, and then we won't be able to eat the blueberries. And the point is to eat the blueberries, but they are very beautiful. So if you don't have deer in your garden, pink icing blueberry is gorgeous. I mean, look at it. I wish I was able to plant it in the landscape. It's just so beautiful. And they do have beautiful little tiny flowers on them in the spring. And I love the unripe blueberries. I have to restrain myself from eating them and allowing them to ripen so that the rest of my family can eat them too. And right here I also have the pink blueberry, and I'm super excited about the pink blueberry. Hold on, I think I'm butchering the name. What I need a tag. Let me see if I can find a tag. Oh, here it is right here. Pink lemonade blueberry. There it is. And these, when they ripen, they will look pink like this, and they are delicious. I got all my supplies here. I don't know if I have enough soil. This is not my favorite soil. This is the only soil that I was able to find at the store, so this is what we're going to be using. And I also have some Hollytone. This is what I use to fertilize my blueberries, and some soil acidifier because we have a neutral pH. It's, you know, between 6.8 and 7, and the soil acidifier is going to provide the acidity for the blueberries so that they can keep their foliage this beautiful color, because our water, it's neutral pH, so it does cause the blueberries to enter chlorosis. So this is what we're going to be giving them, because blueberries like an acidic soil between 4.5 and 5.5. They can do 6, but again our pH is 6.8 to 7, sometimes 8, depends on the location in the soil. And let me just give you a quick glance of these blueberries over here. I forgot the variety of this blueberry. We've had this blueberry for years, but the deer have been eating it. We've had it before we moved into this property, so I don't know, it's like 12 years old or even older, maybe 14 years old, I think. Yeah, because I think so. And we had it indoors, and when we moved here I just put it outside, and it loves it. And it's starting, they're just starting to ripen, so this is my favorite stage right here. I want to eat them all. And this one I think is more like a medium bush variety. I forgot what they call them, but this one is absolutely loaded with blueberries. Look at it, loaded. I mean, look at that. And I have 2 more in the cottage garden over there, one on this side and one on that side. But look at that. This is all planted from seed, and everything is doing great. I think though I did overwater it yesterday, so I'm starting to see a little bit of chlorosis. See that with the dark veining and the yellow leaves? Same here. So this is an overwatering issue, so I need to manage how I water it. So I would typically turn on the water for about an hour for the vegetable garden for each side. I have 2 zones in here, and this gets the water for an hour, so it's usually dripping. So what I need to do is I need to just put a timer And once about maybe 20 minutes hit, I need to turn this off. It might need even less than 20 minutes depending on the flow of water in here. Anyways, so let's go back to our topic. And if you are new here, my name is Chantal. Welcome to my garden. I'm so glad you are here. I'm going to be using these wine barrels over here. And these are plastic and they hold up really well in our winters. We live in zone 5B, 6A. I don't trust the zones. Our zone has been changed recently, but in the past few years, we still have went into lower temperatures than what they suggest we do. We went into -20, -15 in the winter. And these pots protect the blueberries because they have thick plastic. And the blueberries, I believe, are hardy maybe to zone 4 or 3. And of course, every variety of blueberry is going to be a little bit different. These blueberries that I have in here, the ones over there, are sadly covered by the apple tree. I think I need to cut down some branches and fix it so that they can get some sun. But they live in the winter in these pots and they are totally fine. And when you are planting something in pots and leaving it outdoors, you want to have that plant to be hardy 2 zones lower than what your zone is in order for that plant to happily survive outdoors. I'm going to fill these pots with some soil. Now, typically when you are potting something up, you want to put it in a container that's 2 inches bigger than the pot that it's in. But I can just plant things under them so that they can absorb some of that moisture, or I could just monitor their moisture and maybe not give them as much water. I will hook them up on drip. So I have a line of drip over here that I will tap into. So maybe I will underplant them with some things so that they won't get soaked and die. They do like a lot of water though, especially when they are in the fruiting stage. And you have to also take into consideration that the fruits have a lot of moisture in them. And because of that, the more moisture you give them, the more water you give them, the happier they will be. And I have one that's actually living in a boggy location, which is in a vegetable garden. That soil really never dries up. And in the spring, it's kind of like a marshland in there, and it's doing absolutely amazing in there. It loves it. Now, this soil that I'm using is really well draining, so that might help with the moisture, especially because these pots are enormous in comparison to the size of the blueberries. I like to fill my pots almost all the way up to the rim, because eventually some settling does happen, and when it does happen, I will have about maybe an inch or so of the rim that above the soil. But I think I'm gonna stop right here because I need to have some space to put the blueberry in. I may need to take some soil out. These soil bags have been sitting in the rain, so they are super moist and very clumpy and heavy. I'm going to give them maybe about 3 handfuls or so of fertilizer in here, maybe a little more, 3.5, and some soil acidifier. And the soil acidifier is organic. I'm not using aluminum sulfate. This is actually elemental sulfur. I think there are 2 different types of sulfur in here. I'm going to give them a good amount because, yeah, they just need it. You know what's so weird? I love the smell of the sulfur. It's so weird. It's just so acidic, and I love acidic things. I eat all my fruit when it's sour. I don't like sweet fruits. Hopefully I don't have to take any soil out because I just put in some fertilizer. Should have thought about that before before I did that. They are all planted and watered, and the irrigation is hooked to them. Now this one has more drip tape than these because what happened with those is I just used the irrigation that was here for the oregano that I had in here, but I think I may add more drip to them. And I could do it just right now since I'm here. I think I may do that because I don't think this irrigation that's in here is enough for them, for these pots, and for the blueberries to have enough water. I think I'm gonna make it like that one over there. I'll add a few more emitters in there. And I just used 1/4-inch drip emitters and the supply tubing in the back that you can't see. My kids like sour fruits too. So in total in the vegetable garden we have 7 blueberries in here, and 2 of them are buried under the apple tree, so I need to uncover these. I have to cut down some of the branches over there. And them being in pots, that means that I have to fertilize them a few times a year, and not just the regular spring fertilizing regimen that I have, because as the pots get watered, the water does leach out from the water. Of course the water leaches out from the pots. The nutrients leach out from the pots, and I have to replenish those nutrients. So I think right now, since I'm right here, I may as well just give them some fertilizer, and I think we're done. So that's all you have to do, just keep them fertilized, make sure the acidity is right for them. So if you notice any chlorosis, you could give them some soil acidifier. I use an organic soil acidifier. Again, it's mainly just the elemental sulfur that is present in the ground, and this is all I use to acidify the soil. And I use the Espoma Berrytone as a fertilizer. Not Berrytone, you could use Berrytone. I use that sometimes too. Berrytone or Hollytone, both of these work for the blueberries. The reason why I use Hollytone is because it already has some soil acidifier in it. Berrytone is the same thing, and those are 2 that will work for your blueberries. And also Hollytone is made for, you know, evergreens, for shrubs and such things, so, and trees. So I think it will give it the nutrients that it needs better maybe than Berrytone, because Berrytone can also be used on strawberries and such. I didn't really do the comparison of nutrients in there, but maybe I should, because I think that them being shrubs, they do require a little bit of some different nutrients, or more of some of the nutrients than just the kind of strawberries or something like that. Now, whenever I water the vegetable garden, they will get watered, and I water it in this time, in this season that we are in. I water it once a week, and if we do enter a dry spell, I may water it 2 to 3 times a week. So when I give it an hour watering, I'm just watering it once a week. If we end up in a dry spell, I may kind of reduce the amount of watering, but water it more often so that things don't end up drying out. Or I may water it once. I mean, it depends on the weather. There are a lot of different elements that play out in drying the soil. You have wind, you have heat, and you have exposed soil. If you have soil that is mulched, or maybe you have a lot of coverage from plants, that soil is going to retain more water. So very soon, actually, I need to clean up this vegetable garden, and I need to mulch the whole garden. I have some straw that I'm going to be using for mulching. So with that being said, the fact that these blueberries are hooked up on the same irrigation as the vegetable garden, I may sometimes cut the water off. I have a faucet that's actually going to all the pots that are in here, including the raised flower bed over there, and I can easily shut that faucet off in case if they are getting too much water. This is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you again in the next video. And if you're new here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Do hit it. All these branches are cut down now, and those 2 blueberries can breathe, although that one is being swallowed by the wild violets. I need to give it some light. I'm going to pull some of them out, but I do like having the violets in the containers because I think they look beautiful and they kind of shade the soil. You can see it right here. They work really well together. think that one is also going to get some more sun. So it's good that I did this. And this apple tree anyways need to go down, because if I go this way, you'll see that it is leaning pretty heavily because of a snowstorm that we got a couple years ago.